Hey folks, SoloGamer back with you, and we're ready to start getting going through a playthrough of level 7. Now we're going to be playing scenario 1, a new level of fear. And it has this, it's a story driven thing, so we have this thing to read here. So let's read it real quick and see what's going on. Cold hard concrete jars you to consciousness. Your chest heaves as your lungs struggle to breathe under their own power. You cough and sputter, ejecting thick, vicious liquid from your mouth and nose. The first deep breath burns like acid. This place, whatever it is, reeks of the unmistakable stench of ammonia. Where are you? How did you get here? All you remember is a wrong turn down a dirt road, a bright light, then blackness. Scanning the room, you see hundreds of glowing glass cylinders, each containing an unconscious man or woman suspended in bubbling red fluid. Tubes and wires protrude from the occupant's naked flesh, connecting them to ominous life support machinery. Your own tank is empty. Its fluid contents puddle around you on the floor where you lie. Your body aches where catheters and monitors burrow into your flesh. For how long, you might never know. A small bin next to your tank holds your clothes and personal effects sealed in a plastic bag. Well, that's convenient right there, don't you think? You hear an electric motor power down. Pressurized pipes break their seals and pneumatic pistons hissed. Across the master chamber, a cylinder tips forward, disgorging its contents, releasing its captive onto the concrete floor. Seconds later, a third tank spills out. Then a fourth. Is it mechanical failure or someone intentionally releasing these prisoners? It doesn't matter. There are others like you. You are not alone. Before you can react, a little lights flash and a siren's wall pierces your eardrums. Panic grips you. This isn't supposed to happen. Which way do you go? You glimpse several shadows beyond the tanks, a pair of small, emaciated forms beside a larger figure, all of them inhumanly proportioned. The third figure, almost 8 feet tall, makes a series of strange, unintelligible-like noises, and the others take action. Light glints off bulbous eyes as black as oil. You know in your gut that these things are not of this world. You run. Gasping, choking, eyes burning in the acidic air, you stumble towards the other captives. Perhaps together you can escape this nightmare. Okay, so the objective of this scenario is somewhere on this level is an elevator. Finding it means escape. Failing to reach in time means you will be trapped here forever. Okay, so we had to set up, we had to put the tank farm tile in the center of the table with one player in each space. And this is it, and this is the tank farm tile here. So that's the tubes you can see right there. So that's where we started. Okay, we set aside the A-lift tile as your objective, and this is going to be the A-lift tile right here. This is the A-lift elevator tile. We got to try to get that. Okay, shuffle the remaining tiles and separate them into 3 stacks as indicated here. When exploring, draw tiles from stack A until it is gone, then from stack B until it is gone, then draw from the final stack. This scenario does not use the item deck. Each player starts with 1 vitality and 1 threat, but we're going to play on easy mode, and we get to begin this scenario with 5 vitality. Guards versus aliens. Guards start the scenario with 0 fear. Clones start the scenario with 0 threat. If a clone is on a tile with a stunned guard, remove the guard. Then the guard's fear becomes 5 and the clone's threat becomes 3. Okay, so we have to have that to happen. And we have 4 reserves in the guards. And we have 6 reserves on the clones. And then you see like pack limit. That means 1 clone per space. So 2 clones can't be on the same tile. And then secure number, it's the same thing for guards. 1 before lockdown, but after lockdown 2 can be on the same tile. Okay, we put the threat pool, and this is our threat pool here. It's the number of players plus 2, so we have 4 in our threat pool. And I think lockdown pool is 2 right there. This scenario uses the alien zone and the rules for peeking. Okay, when you successfully peek, place the A-lift tile so that it connects to your tile. When the player finds the A-lift, lockdown starts at the end of the turn. When lockdown starts, 1 guard spawns on each tile, each security tile and guard post, starting with the closest one to the A-lift. Then all guards activate. During lockdown, guards treat the A-lift as a target with 3 threat but do not move onto this tile. Additional enemies do not spawn during lockdown. Escape. The A-lift is the exit. Players who reach it escape and remove the player. A player who escapes does not take a lockdown token at the end of the turn. Okay. So we're using the clone rules. And I've already drawn my 5 adrenaline cards for each one. And so what we're using is the clone rules. And what that means is if we don't get a If we pick an event card and a clone is supposed to spawn, but there is no fear icon on the board, then we can also spawn the clone on a tile with a vent. Okay. Guards have a special thing like that, but that'll probably come in another scenario, but we're not going to be using that for this scenario. This is tile stack A, this is tile stack B, and this is the last tile stack. We can't start peeking until we get through this tile stack right here. So we'll go over the peeking rules when we start with this tile stack, okay? So we'll just worry about that then. So let's go ahead and start the game. Okay, we'll start with the chick first. She doesn't have a name. She's subject 329CF0408. Okay. Alright. And she has survivalist skill. Darkness does not raise your fear, and she has a +1 toughness. And she has meathead. Meathead, Archie Bunker. She's -1 on her intelligence, but +2 strength. Which I don't. That's not that good there, but she's pretty strong. All right. So she can move. We kind of want to stay separate because if you're together, you'll earn a threat token. So let's say it's a little separate, and we'll go ahead and move her, and we'll go ahead and move her here. So we take a tile there, and we have to line the doors up as best we can. This is sick bay B. Okay, and we will put that there. Okay, this is a medical thing, but she's already full health, so there's no reason to. At the beginning of your turn, you draw a card. Like if you didn't have 5 cards, and you only had 4, you can draw an adrenaline card and get back up to your limit of 5. You only draw 1 card. So you can't draw it. Like if I had 2 cards, I couldn't draw 3 and get back up to my limit of 5. I could just draw 1 and have 3. Okay, and that's how that works. But we don't do that the first turn because we start out with our 5. So we moved into here. So now our turn is going to end because we have the security camera icon. So let's do an event card. We have to draw an event, and we don't have anything spawning. Okay. And it says attempt, and we have the security icon right here. It says attempt a 5 intelligence challenge. If you fail, put a guard post marker on your tile. If you fail by 3 or more, also spawn a guard on your tile. Okay. Attempt a 5 intelligence challenge. That means we got to take her intelligence, which right now is 2, but she has this meathead. I'm sorry, his is 2, hers is 2. She has this meathead thing, which makes it 1. That's pretty terrible. So I want to see if we have an adrenaline card. We do. I want to play this adrenaline card right here, where I get to lose 2 fear and boost my intelligence up by 2. So I will play it. Okay, so I lose 2 fear, so she goes down to 3, and her intelligence is boosted by 2. So she has 3 intelligence now. Okay. So since she has 3 intelligence, we get to roll 3 dice. And we're looking for the brain icons, and we need to get 5 of them. And we got 3 of them. Yee. Oh boy. Okay, so we got 3 of them. If you fail by 3 or more, also spawn a guard on your tile. Well, we didn't fail by 3 or more, so that's okay. So we just got to put a guard post on this tile here, which we will do that. Okay, so we put this little guard post icon on the tile, and now we would spawn. Now there are 2 players, but there are no clones on the thing, so we do not have to activate any of the clones. Okay, so we don't have to do any activation as of yet because we didn't spawn anything. Okay, and that's her turn. Okay, and now is this guy's turn, and I tell you what, he'll move up 1 as well, so we'll move him here. And this is a facility icon on there, so we'll have to do the facility thing. And yeesh, we have to match the doors. Okay, so he will move here, and he will draw an event card. Okay, now we're going to be spawning here. Alright, we have to spawn a clone. Now, we got to look, we don't have a fear thing on here, but we got to look for event. If we have a vent, we've got to put a clone on there. If we don't, then we don't have to. Okay, so there is no vent on here yet, so we do not have to put a clone on the thing. Alright, and we have place a darkness monster on this tile and roll 3 dice. Gain 1 fear for each devil icon you roll. Okay, so we will put a darkness monster on here and we have to roll 3 dice. So we roll 3 dice. And we got 1 devil icon. That's this one. So we will gain 1 fear, and he moves up to 6. Okay. Alright. And if we had a guard, he would activate. But we don't have a guard. Okay. So now it is old girl's turn. And she will draw a card. She draws an adrenaline card. Okay. And so we're not going to move here with him, so we will move 1 and then we will move 2. So let's draw a tile from the stack. That's a fear one there. Alright, so we have to do it like that. 3. Now normally this little thing means there's an item supply in here, but we are not using item cards for this game, so we will just ignore that for now. And there is our fear icon. So we have to do an event, and we're not spawning anything, which is good. And a fear here. Roll a number of dice equal to your fear. Spawn a clone on an adjacent tile for every 2 intelligence you roll. Okay, well her fear is 3. And I can make her, I can discard, I will discard this card. Discard at any time to raise or lower your fear by 1. So I will discard that and lower my fear by 1. And now I am going to roll 2 dice. And if I wanted to, I could play another one of these cards. Okay, but I think that's good luck. So let's roll. And we got no intelligence icons whatsoever. And now a guard would activate, but there is no guard on the thing. So far, so good. Now it's old boy's turn here. Okay, he's going to move 1, and he's going to move here to 2. So we will put a tile there. And we have no icon except a little item icon, but we're not doing that. So, we'll go like this. 3. Now, since no icon was on there, you still have to draw an event card at the end of your turn if you had not drawn one yet. So we will draw an event card, and we ignore all these 3 right here. We would just go by the spawning and the activation. But this one doesn't spawn anything, and we have nobody on the board to activate. So that's it. We don't have to read any of these. Okay, and you know what? Let him. He's going to play this one. Lose 1 fear at any time. So he's going to lose a fear. Just get him down a little bit, back to 5. We don't want him up too high on his fear. Okay? And next turn he'll draw a card. So it is our girl's turn here. And the only way she can go is this way. So we will move her 1 that way. In here. And that is an office. And there's nothing in there. There's no other way out. So we will move her back to here. And we will draw an event card. And we are lucky again. We don't have anything to spawn. And that's the activation. And remember, there was no other icon on here. So we don't have to activate any of these 3. And of course, she gets to draw an adrenaline card. Okay, it's our guy's turn. And he will draw an adrenaline card. Okay. And let's see here. There is a vent icon on that one right there. You can barely see it. And that's the problem. Let's talk about that for a second. I expected these tiles to be a little bit bigger. Now these tiles are well detailed. They're nice, they're gloomy, they do match the game. I will give it that. But you know, I'm used to Mansions of Madness. And Mansions of Madness, those are big tiles. You didn't cheap out on them. Sure, you get a lot more tiles this way. I guess it's a give or take, but I wish they could make the vent icons a little bit more visible. I mean, sometimes they're hard to see. I mean, really, I'm sitting here looking at that and I can barely see that. So, you know, that's my only gripe really about the tiles. Okay, so he was here. So he will move up here. Okay, we have a fear icon. So we have to match the things the best we can. Alright, so we have a fear icon. So we're going to stop there. Okay, alright, now we spawn. So we're going to spawn a guard. As you can see, we spawn a guard here on this tile to match where the security icon is. Okay, he has a fear icon. It says pass a 3-strength challenge or spawn a clone on this tile. Okay, so his strength is actually 2 plus 1 is 3. 4 with this. And he can use a card right here. But I don't think he wants to gain any fear. So he has 4 he can choose from. So that's a pretty good thing. Let's pass a 3-strength challenge. And we got it. We got that simple. Look at that. Okay, so we don't have to do a clone. Now for activation. We have 2 players. Only a clone would move. So that guard's not going to move. Okay. It is our girl's turn. Let's see, she has to go back here. She goes up that way, there's going to be a stinking guard. So she will just move here. And she has to draw an event. We don't spawn, and we don't activate. Okay, it's the guy's turn. He's got all his cards filled. And he will move. And he will move... Let's move him here. Okay, we have another fear. And a vent. Okay, so we have to spawn a clone. Okay. Alright. Now we just hit the shit pile right here, I gotta say. We have 3 fear icons on the board. Okay. The rules are not clear as to, do I spawn 3 clones on each icon? Do I spawn a clone on each icon? Do I get to choose where to spawn the clone? Do I spawn 1 clone and have to choose where it goes? Maybe closest to them? I don't know. So what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and end this here, and then we'll come back and look over the rules again, because I want to get this right and figure out where we put that clone. And then we'll come back to that turn. So this is SoloGamer saying, see you then.